Hello, good morning. I would like to show you my Kroger's grocery haul. It's a lovely service where they can deliver it to your door. And it started because I could not find organic celery in their order form, online order form. It was out, it was out, it was out. And then yesterday they had it in stock. In stock, that's a good one. Celery stocks in stock. So I went and did a really big order, and I ordered 14 stalks of celery. Here are some of them, 14 organic stalks of celery. And now Kroger's, I really like the quality. They have great quality, and a lot of things are better priced. So I get the convenience of having it dropped to my door. I believe it's because they don't actually have a store, it's a warehouse, so they don't have to pay over the overhead for staff. So I got 2 of these Wegman frozen blueberries for my wild blueberry metal detox smoothie. I don't do them every day. I've been on this protocol for over 45 days now. Sometimes I really want to do that blueberry smoothie because I want to get that barley grass powder and spirulina into my husband. But I don't always do it. I used to always put parsley, and the last time I didn't. It's suggested cilantro. I put cilantro in it one time because I had a hard time finding organic cilantro, and it tastes really soapy. So because I'm like far into this, I never skip a day of celery though. My husband and I, we do that faithfully. So I have even more celery in the freezer. I think about 5 or 6 more bunches. And here is a beautiful, beautiful picture of celery. You can understand if you start this process and the healing effects of celery. In fact, I got the medical medium's book on celery from the library, and he said that celery stops sensitive extremities. I used to always have cold feet and hands, and I do now recall that I don't have that anymore, which is very wonderful. It's very difficult to have that. And then this is a watermelon. It's organic. I did get this from Publix. I've really been enjoying watermelon, and I do get conventional if organic's not available because I really craved it. And if it's not the greatest of quality watermelon, when you open it, make juice from it. I wouldn't suggest blending it, make a juice. Blending it was not the greatest. I got 2 big bags of these oranges, or maybe 3, I'm not sure, but they're 8 pounds each because I love orange juice. And I noticed that whenever I'm on a cleanse that's really effective, I crave orange juice. So to me, that's a good sign. Just can't get enough of it. And now I got 2 red peppers. They're greenhouse grown. They're from Canada, so I like the greenhouse grown. And then I got 4 cucumbers, organic cucumbers, and Kroger's, I think they're only $1.19 each. And at Whole Foods, they're about $3 or $4 each. So I'm loving those prices. I got 4 avocados. I have 4 mangoes. They're not ripe yet, but they'll ripen up. And then I decided to go with a big box of basil. I haven't made any pesto yet, but I definitely could make it. Now, if I added some avocado, that's going to be fats, which I'm really not having any fats per se. Like maybe the odd day, I could probably count on my fingers the day that I added fats in, but I could make a pesto from using avocado and even a little bit of walnuts if I wanted to. I've made in the past, when I was on a raw food plan, I did make that and add lemon juice. And that would be nice on a pasta for my husband and I. I got 2 bags of these carrots, 16 ounces. I got 1 bag of organic lemons. I find I use a lot of lemons in my cooking, a lot of lemons and limes, because that's the substitute for the salt. And I don't even really I made that one nacho sauce I told you about. I ended up giving the rest to my husband, and it was too rich for me. It had Mayoko's butter in it at 2 tablespoons, and I was actually relieved. I didn't like it because I thought it would start me down a path of like going back to the foods that I used to eat, and they're not nourishing. They're not like life-giving foods like these are. And then I got a big pack of conventional lemons, and those are 5 pounds. I got, this is something I use a lot, pardon me. I got 2 stalks of organic parsley, great for seasoning. I made kabocha squash, and I chopped in parsley and added soya milk to that, and it was delicious. I had a huge dinner last night, and my husband said, "Oh, your plate looked better than mine." And I said, "It was delicious, honey," but because he's so programmed with the keto, the night before he's like, "I don't want any potatoes, I don't want any rice, I don't." So what I'm going to do for this husband of mine is I'm going to just leave all those beautiful foods that I make on the stovetop, and hopefully he'll be tempted to take some. Because I keep telling him, honey, those potatoes and the rice and all those carbs do not make you gain any weight. In fact, they'll make you lose weight. He's learning slowly but surely. If the medical medium says it, he thinks it must be true. Even though I've been telling him for over a year, he needs to hear from the medical medium, right? And so I got 2 boxes of these organic dates, and I've had them before, the medjool dates, and they are really moist and soft. I love it when they're moist and soft rather than dried. And then I got 2 packages of these whole mushrooms. I have to say Kroger's food is really nice looking, but these mushrooms aren't the best looking mushrooms, you know. But I'm going to cover them with a paper towel, open up the boxes, because plastic really doesn't let them breathe. And I don't want the mushrooms to sweat and age early, although I will have to use them, you know, shortly. I was just thinking, I wonder if you could freeze them. I know you can. It's something to think about. And then I got 2 bottles of this raw honey. This raw honey is so good. It almost tastes like butter. And let me show it to you again. Love that raw honey. In fact, I started splitting open dates, removing the seed, and filling up the cavity of the date with honey. Talk about a sweet treat. And none of the honey or dates gave me any problems with weight, because the fat content of this protocol is so low. It's when you mix the fruit with the fat and the protein is when you get the problems and the weight gain, because your body can't process the glucose on top of all the heavy fats and proteins that you're overloading your bodies with, taxing your adrenals and aging. So always eat your fruit on an empty stomach, and up until 12 noon at least, don't eat any fats. And now I made my husband a really big bowl of fruit for him to take, and he'll have that before his lunch. And he was having it quite earlier, quite a lot before his lunch. And I told him that's the way to go. His energy is up. He doesn't have as much hunger. He's eating less for lunch. And when I look at that beautiful bowl of fruit I'm giving him, and that he's finally allowing me to feed him, it gives me such joy and happiness, because I know that's going to be a healthier, longer, happier life for him. Amen. And then I also got an organic cauliflower, and the nacho cheese that I made did have about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of cauliflower. It did have red pepper roasted in it. It was steamed cauliflower, and then you puree it up. But I'm not going to use Mayoko's butter for it. And I'm really going to see if I can do it without the salt and taste it. And what I could do is, this is kind of exciting, because I wanted to make nut butters. And then medical medium said that every nut butter has oils not added to the jar. And I said to myself, well, that's why I'm sensitive to it. So I looked up, I didn't think you could make almond nut butter, but they said in fact you can in a food processor like a Cuisinart. And I have these almonds here. Now these almonds are the purest you could get. They're not organic, but they're in the shell. So what I could do for that recipe, I would need 2 tablespoons of roasted almond butter. What I could do is I could roast these in the oven, which that recipe encouraged you to do, because warm almonds, they said, are easier to blend up into a butter. I could deshell them, roast them, put them in my food processor, and then add them to the nacho cheese and see how it would work. Now, I haven't been able to see any almonds in the shell on Amazon. I got those at a bulk food store at my other location. I don't live there anymore. But that was the almond that I could tolerate. Now, when I got regular almonds, especially the Amazon ones that were very inexpensive, they threw me for a loop, and I did not do well on them at all. In fact, I was totally thrown off as to why I wasn't digesting after I ate those shelled almonds, and they weren't organic. So I researched almonds, and sure enough, they use lots of pesticides on them, including Roundup. And I haven't had anything with almonds since. Mind you, I'm doing very low fat, but even before this protocol, because I was so thrown off, and that explains it. So in the shell, they're going to be protected from a lot of that poison that they put on them. Now let me see how much room I have in my freezer, because I want to put these bagged wild blueberries in the freezer. Now I have another bag of blueberries in there, so I have 3 bags in total. When I first got married, my husband had nothing in his fridge, and now we have 2 fridges, an extra freezer, and everything is brimming with goodness. And he always laughs because, or maybe he doesn't always laugh, but whenever we go to the store, his wife comes back with carts, even if I had just shopped the day before. It's like, and also if you're eating a lot of fresh produce, you're constantly stocking up. So anyways, needless to say, he went from being a bachelor, a single, unmarried man with 1 fridge and nothing in it, to 2 fridges packed full and a freezer in the garage. So it's wonderful. I love healthy food and being surrounded by it and having the choice to make it, and nourishing my lovely husband and I. And we're just flourishing, and we're so grateful, and we're much happier because we're much healthier. So there's my Kroger's haul. It cost about, I would say, $190, and it does include the $10 delivery. And it's like, wow, you know, I don't have to put on my makeup. I don't have to get dressed. I don't have to go to the car. I don't have to deal with the lines or the customers or the store or the time or anything. It's a wonderful service. So I do still go to the store and buy more food, though. We just went yesterday. So happy health to you. Be well. Bye-bye.